Defenseman. 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 Does anyone want one? Lou? Kevin? Anyone? The Montreal Canadiens are once again heading into a season with a huge supply of young NHL-ready defensemen. And here's what I'm talking about. The 5 names in black are most likely going to be locks heading into the season, unless, of course, one of them gets traded or injured. And the 5 names in red, well, they're likely going to be duking it out for just one remaining position. So who's it going to be? Who's going to win? Most likely, if Caden Gooley is already forced on the right side, it's going to be a right shot defenseman. Someone like Logan Mailloux or Justin Barron. However, at some point, not trying to put any, added pressure on you, Kent Hughes, but you're going to be forced to make some really tough decisions on the blue line. Trades are going to have to be made, and believe it or not, I wouldn't even be shocked if we see 1 or 2 of these guys moved over the next couple of months. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you my blue line of the future. Okay, I'm going to reveal it. Doesn't it look beautiful? This is what I'd personally like to see in the future, but now I've got some explaining to do. I'm gonna break down all the names that are missing from my original list, and I'm gonna tell you why they're gone. First up on the milk carton is Jordan Harris, who's a really nice kid. He's always got that smile, unlike you, Christian. But sometimes you gotta be brutally honest, and I just don't see Jordan Harris as a part of the future in Montreal. And no, it's not because he's a bad defenseman, okay? But he doesn't really have a superpower yet, you know what I mean? He's not gonna score 50 points, he's not gonna hit anyone, he's not gonna strike fair in the opponents when battling for position, no. And when I really look at the left side and I see a guy like Lane Hudson potentially, eating up some big minutes one day, that is your one runt of the litter right there. And everybody else surrounding him needs to be absolutely vicious for it to work. And Jordan Harris, he's just not mean enough. If you locked him in a room with a mosquito, it would probably kill him. Next up on the missing list, we got Jaden Struble. God, this one's gonna sting. I love this guy. Struble busted onto the scene last season after playing an incredible stretch of games for the Laval Rocket. Not only did he earn a call-up, but he made such a good impression in Montreal that they just couldn't even send him back down. He was too good. He was reliable, just like Jordan Harris. But he was also intimidating. He could hit. He could actually kick your ass if he wanted to. However, basically for me, it came down to either A, Struble, or B, Junkie. And Kazakhstan's right now, I'm going Sheriff all the way on this one. And it wouldn't be fair to keep Struble just to have him watching games from the press box. Now we're going to move on to Mike Matheson. And I know this is probably going to piss a lot of people off. Everybody's about to have a temper tantrum. But hang on just a minute. Easy. You see, Mike Matheson's value right now is at an all-time high. Okay, me and Gary talk about it all the time. Look at his point totals. His offensive production doubled at 30 years old. Not only can he be a great trade chip moving forward, but Lane Hudson, Mr. Shake and Bake himself, could be a perfect replacement for him. And you can't just have 2 guys like that on one side of your blue line. Somebody's got to actually play defense out there in the top 4 on the left side. And that's exactly where good old reliable Caden Gooley comes in. So basically, I was flipping a coin between Savard and Matheson as a veteran defenseman, and based off of value alone, I say you keep Chewbacca as a blue line vet and move the most valuable piece, Mike Matheson. So that brings us to 7 defensemen in the future, which is right where we want to be. Now you're going to notice I keep Justin Barron around, which probably won't go over too well. I'd like to see him get a little more time, and the guys that are missing, they all shoot left. Every one of them. So keeping one guy around like David Savard, a real-life Chewbacca guiding the young pups, it's probably a good idea. But of course, again, as time goes on, this list is definitely going to change, okay? Nobody really knows what Adam Engstrom is going to bring, or Bogdan Kanyushkov, or even that new Owen Protz kid from the 2024 draft that likes to hit people. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. There's quite a few options. Your list is obviously going to look different than mine. So what I want you to do now is enlighten me. Go ahead and break down your future Habs blue line. I want to hear all about it. Don't forget to snap that like button in half before you leave here. And hey, see you next time, everybody.